It's been a minute for a Saturday show.
Dude, I know. I think we were on last week though, right? Right?
Live. Live at the
Man.
event.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. God, that was last week. I thought that was a month ago.
Well, we are live, people. You get to hear us talk about not being in the studio last week. Instead,
I
we're
know,
on
man.
site at the Havlicks event.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And let's talk for just a second before this because I want to give a big shout out to my brother Stephen Narks of Narks Electric Customs. He's coming up today, and we are putting air conditioning. We're putting a mini split in the podcast room. I'm so excited, dude. It's going to be great to not have to worry about this fan being on outside and it being 107 in here whenever we do the nightly shows. So, all
Which
right,
is
you ready to
kind
get
of
into this?
entertaining. Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
entertaining because where I am, it's starting to go the other direction. It's starting to cool down, and now you're
Oh,
putting in air conditioning in.
well, I've had this air conditioning since like last winter, but I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I like to spend all of my waking time on drag and drive stuff. So I don't do any car projects or home projects or things like this. So Steven's like, dude, let's get it done. So he's putting one in his shop and wants to, kind of guinea pig mine so we can figure it out and then, make it easier. Anyways,
Perfect.
sorry. Guys, are you ready for this? Welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing for August 17th,
Dude,
2024. I can't believe we are this far into the year. For today, we're talking about event updates. Lots of those. We've got a big sale. One of our sponsors is offering a big back to school sale and octane boosters for street driving and what that does for your overall car. So, dude, if you'll hit that intro video, let's get into this thing.
all right, let's do it.
Man, I'm excited to be back in the studio this morning. Saturday mornings are fun, just simply because, man, we go through so much stuff, and I love the news because there's no guests. We're like hard hitting, just hammering through a ton of updates. So let's get into this, guys. Again, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing for August 17th, 2024. My name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of the news that you're watching right now or listening to on the podcast and the show, which happens live on Wednesday nights and then is replayed on PowerTube TV on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Mr. Eric White, introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on, sir.
I am Eric White, the co host of both the news and the show. And currently, I am still editing through all of the photos that we took last weekend at the Havlicks Fastest Streetcar Shootout. And I mean, these photos are turning out great. I've got such great feedback on them. It's awesome to see everybody enjoying these photos. So I'm going to keep on working on those throughout the weekend and see how far I can get.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. You woke up this morning to well, we'll show it in just a little bit, but a gigantic list of likes, so or
Yeah.
notifications of likes, I guess. Well, guys, listen, you know the deal. We can't do this without you. Our race car friends make this happen. Race car friends make this happen. This is one of the. You guys are awesome. I just want to say that you're awesome. Last night, I really was working until about midnight, and I literally had no more in me. I had been at that chair all day and somebody made a comment. I don't remember who it was now. And hey, listen, it got me another 15 minutes, which 15 minutes was a bunch because it gave us another topic to talk about today. So, thank you so much for our race car friends. Guys, hit the share button as we come in here. And for those watching on PowerTube TV, copy the link and post it over onto one of your social media handles. We appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for being around here. Thank you so much for the support you provide to us. It was really cool to be at the Havlicks and to be at any events and have somebody come up and say they appreciate what we're doing and all that kind of stuff. And then, do you want to tell about your pizza place story last night? Because I think that was probably a race car friend that was there.
It might have been, but we were out at dinner last night, and we were at a restaurant, and there was a gentleman and a lady come in to get on a wait list, and I saw a 1320 video T-shirt and a Street Racing Channel hat. So um, I never got a chance to talk to the guy, but pretty sure he was a race car friend. We made eye contact and a little head nod, but that was about it.
Yep. So what you're saying is you got recognized.
Maybe. I was
It's
wearing a
awesome.
drag drive repeat T-shirt, so
Yeah.
possibly.
Yep. I'm sure he did. He's like, that's the guy. That's the guy. All right. And guys, we can't do this without our sponsors. Thank you so much to them for making the travel possible and equipment updates and all that kind of stuff that their support provides. So Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, Performa Built Transmissions. Dude, I I grabbed an old one here. Sorry about that. WAF Racing, you're not on this one. I apologize. We'll delete this one out of the system and get the new one in there. Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk Classifieds, and Power Tube TV. Can't do this without those guys for sure. So sorry about that, WAF. We'll get that on there, Chris. Next time, I promise. Don't beat me when you see me. All right. And guys, you know how we do. We love Summit. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop. With 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions, they feel your passion. They save you money. They deliver fast and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. And you can find Summit Racing obviously on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Our boy Justin over there just killing the game. It's awesome, man, watching him do that. You can also find them on the On All Cylinders podcast, which has a ton of automotive discussions like what we do here. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Obviously, you can find everything you need automotive related at summitracing.com, but you can also find Drag Drive Repeat merch. Did I put that in there? Nope, I didn't put that. That's at the end. Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today is Summit Racing's equipment, My Garage, which is great, and I'm going to do better about posting over there because it's a great spot for me to keep all of the parts I've purchased on which cars in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you haven't signed up for My Garage, please do that. That would be awesome to for them. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great. Um, this is going to work into a social media kind of platform once it gets a little bigger and kind of gets more traction. So I'm excited to see companies like Summit doing stuff like this, and I'm using it really as a parts list, so we can just keep duplicating Turbo LS projects. You know how that goes.
Yep. So once you sign up and create your garage, make sure you find Mike and I and send us I don't know if it's a follow or I don't remember what the
Yep.
terminology is, but make sure you look up our garage and friend follow whatever that is on there so that we can keep up with your builds as well.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right, well, let's move into some Driven Racing Oil event updates. If you want to hit that ad read.
All right. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off road and circle track, or pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures that superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout and methanol or ethanol fuels. Crafted by the legendary Bradford Base Oil and enhanced with state of the art additive packages, GP1 offers the best protection and performance. So be sure to follow Driven Racing Oil on Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil or shop now at drivenracingoil.com.
I know that's right. Well, big exciting news happening over at Driven Racing Oil. They have officially named Bryant Goldstone as a team driven as part of their whole program. Now he's been running Driven Racing Oil as part of his program for a long time, and this was obviously it just made sense to me, that they bring him in and make him part of Team Driven, especially as badass as that dude is. So
Right.
they made the post as we welcome Bryant Goldstone to Team Driven. winner of SICTA Magazine Sick Week 2024, and holder of nearly a dozen class victories just in his 1973 AMC Javelin. Bryant Goldstone joins Team Driven. Bryant has exploded onto the drag and drive scene this season with his twin turbo Javelin rocking a 572 cubic inch big block Chevrolet. Bryant has won his first Sick Week with a 642 pass at 228 miles an hour. Crazy how fast he went down at Sick Week. And this dude hasn't let up. He was second overall at Sick Week, first overall at Sick Summer, one overall at the Havlicks deal with like a 647 ET. Like, that was his fastest pass of the weekend. And
Yeah.
then he's won something else. There's something else in there that he's done this year that's just, I mean, it's
Rocky
legendary. Oh,
Mountain.
yeah, Rocky Mountain Race Week. He was within half a hundredth on the average of beating Larry Larson's record that has stood for 10 years. I mean, dude, that's crazy quick. Crazy
Yeah.
quick. So yeah, I'm excited about what he's doing. It's awesome that he's obviously part of Team Driven, but also that he's just out there crushing it. And he told us at the Havlicks deal that he's coming for Drag Week and going to reset that record and gonna he's going to run away with the world champion. He's going to
Yeah.
be two-time Drag and Drive world champion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
He
awesome.
is currently the baddest street car out there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, he's the one of no, he is the only racer to do 3 national events, and that was by June. And I think there were only like 5 events total done in the world at that time.
Right.
So
And and then he
crazy.
goes to the Havlicks race and kills that. And then
Yeah,
he's going to go to another national event here in about a month at Drag Week. So, I mean, he's an animal, and that car just works, and
yeah,
that team has it so dialed in that it's, they're going to be tough to compete with.
yep. And what's awesome, there's an article that's coming out later that probably on Tuesday that's talking about this, but like he hasn't had it easy either.
No.
He's like busting the oil pan on Rocky Mountain. He literally could have quit right there and nobody would have been mad. But they stay awake for 38 hours fixing the oil pan and all that kind of stuff. And then, gets out and just crushes it, man. I mean, to be that close to Larry Larson's time in that kind of heat is crazy.
Oh
And I
yeah.
know Larry did it in the mountains, but Bryant did it in 100+ degree conditions. And at one point during the week, the firewall temp in that car was 165 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anybody that doubts how hard Rocky Mountain is, get some. That's
Right.
tough, dude. That is tough. So congratulations to him. Love it. Love the team over at Driven Racing Oil. We've got some fun stuff that's coming that we should be able to announce. Maybe we can announce it Wednesday night. Maybe that's what we'll do. Bill, if you're listening to this, Bill or Alex, if you're listening to this, get with us. Let us know if we can announce that on Wednesday night. All righty. Next up is Dragway Rush, kicks off next weekend. This is exciting. This is the only drag and drive event that's really kind of taken place in the Northeast so far this year, obviously, and really in the last several years. And this is obviously in Canada, so that helps a lot of the Canadian racers get more involved. Now, I will say this: I feel like there are a lot more Canadians that come down than Americans that go up, right?
Correct.
I'm hoping that this really kind of blurs that border right there because it's pretty close to the border and it'll make it really easy. Now, what else is cool is we talked about the New York State Drag and Drive being moved to October. I'm hoping that these two can end up doing something together. I keep seeing these events that are close, and I keep thinking about these like almost like a small series kind of, like you could tie 2 or 3 together and we can find a sponsor that would do something special for maybe 3 regional events or 2 regional
Right.
events, so we're looking at all kinds of stuff. I think that's our next growth potential within the drag and drive community is how we've got to get more people into regional stuff that are on the border of doing a national event, like those car guys that want to do this, but they haven't talked their wife into spending $300 so they can go all week, because $300, that's all the drag and drive costs for the week, But to spend that kind of money and maybe not take a family vacation that year or add this to it, I think they've got to get this experience, and regional events are the way for them to do that. And Dragway Rush is a great way to do that. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, and I love the 2 tracks in one day deal. That kind of started with Southeast Street Meet, and it's going to be really cool. So, all right, that's Dragway Rush next weekend, August 23rd and 24th. Again, in the eastern part of Canada, we'll have an update during the weekend for next Saturday's show. For the 24th, we'll have an update from that morning, but obviously we won't have all the standings and stuff till that next Wednesday night.
Right.
Yeah. So it's exciting. 666 is coming up after the run of all of the major national stuff. Then you got 666. I feel like this is going to be a great, relaxed, laid back. This trip, well, you know the deal. You heard me when I was talking about the circuit 2024. Dude, it took me 90 minutes to drive 20 something miles. Like,
Right.
that's what this trip is going to be. The drag racing is going to be secondary to the trip that this is offering. So 666, obviously registration back open. They went through the wait list. They had some folks fall off. I think the timeline, October 11th through 18th and going one direction is hard for folks to commit to, but
Yeah.
do like what I'm doing, just go for a few days. Take this as an adventure, So I would love to see maybe Tom and them look at something with this, their one-off event every year. Could they do something like Power Tour?
Hmm.
To where you have a full list, you have your 200 people that sign up or whatever, but then you also offer 25 spots every day that could get in to the track, and then you would just buy like a day pass, essentially like what Power Tour does. But anyways, this is going to be fun. Guys, I need your help. Help me peer pressure Eric into flying down on Friday to XNA to Bentonville here, jumping in the Saturn rocket with me, and then let's go Springfield, Mocan, and Tulsa, and then him have to fly back home because we're trying to keep all of his vacation days together so he can do drag week, and then maybe definitely PRI, but maybe you stick something else in there too. So help
I
me out
thought
with that. Do that.
I thought you were gonna have the old truck ready for this.
Dude, there ain't no way. We got too much to do in September, and I don't have any money to pay my brother to do it. But the Narcs cart, oh man, that could be fun. One of the stops, so of course the route was released, I think this week was 666, which is great. I like that they're releasing the full routes earlier with the route stops. So again, local people can see where they're going to go. Local people can find out. Used to, this was a no-no because it kind of added an element of suspense, and it added an element of, oh man, where are we going to go? How are we going to do it? But I don't think people are cheating. So I think
No.
everybody's figured that out. It's not worth it to cheat. And anyways, so I love that they're releasing these early, and it's pushed Rocky Mountain Raceway to do the same thing. And I love that too, because that's my jam. Gary's Gay Parita is one of 666's route stops for this year. We stopped there this last year with the circuit, or I guess in 2024 with the circuit. And I love that they're going to make this a stop. I will tell all of the people that are going to stop there, you do see burnout marks, but the neighbors don't like them. They will be coming through at a different time, though. That'll help, because like we were coming through at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Dirty Panda. We need the Narcs cart back, bro. Believe me, I'm looking at it right now. It's calling my name. So yeah, Gary's Gay Parita, this is going to be a really cool stop with the 150, 200 cars that 666 is going to have. I know Eric took some just banging pictures while we were there last year, or the 2024 circuit. This is going to be really cool. I'm hoping that it just elevates that place so much because of all the attention that it's gotten from us and now from 666, because this is really one of the coolest stops on the whole route.
Yeah.
And
And
the owners are great.
yeah, and you can just walk in there. There's a little store kind of behind where the car's sitting. There's some stuff off to the right side. There's some stuff off to the left. So
Yep.
plenty of stuff to stop and look at. The giant, 66 sign
Yep.
right there on the road. It's probably one of the biggest ones I've seen. It's literally the whole road. Don't do
Yeah.
burnouts on it.
It's one of the largest in the nation. There's a guy named Roaming Rich that did that one, and it literally is. He said it's, if not the biggest, it's the second biggest one he's ever done. So
Nice.
that's pretty amazing to be able to do that. And the reason Gary's Gay Parade is so special to Route 66 drivers is because Gary would literally sit in that building that has a Sinclair sign on it and call, and just he was an ambassador for Route 66. So that became a stop because of his hard work to preserve the Route 66. So it's pretty neat. It's a great stop. Lots of really, really cool stuff. And then next up is they'll be stopping at Gearhead Curios, which is going to be in Galena, Kansas. So you're going to do Gary's, you're going to do Mocan, then you're going to do Gearhead Curios, which is awesome because that dude Aaron, the owner, took care of all of the circuit racers like nobody has ever before. It was great for him to be able to like hang out there, and I think he had a blast. I know
Hmm.
the folks at the circuit had a blast. I didn't make that stop, but I'm going to this year.
Yeah,
So
and there's a bunch of stuff around there too. So you stop
yeah.
at your route stop, but if you go, what is it, just a couple blocks down the road, there's a
Yep.
bunch more stuff to see in Galena. So it's going to
Yep.
be a cool area. I think there'll be a lot of cars kind of wandering in that little
Yep.
bitty area.
Yep. Cars on the Route is like, a tribute to the movie.
Hmm.
And then they've got like a whole, like a gas station set up. They've got a whole area you can pull off and park, and all the really cool photos and stuff. So Gearhead Curios, I'm excited about that one. And then Bristow Fire Department, which is what the picture is here. 666 is going back there. Y'all, this place is a burnout machine. The fire department told us, they said, we run this road and we're fine with burnouts. So
Yes.
they had the hose out, they were watering it down, and you can see from these photos, people were not scared. I will say, going that direction, there's a stop sign up there, so we're not going to get crazy big long ones. But you can see from these photos, people were getting down with it. It was awesome to watch that. And then Big Texan, that's the next route stop that I'll be making. But one of the coolest ones I thought that was going to be on the trip is going to be the Big Texan close to Amarillo. And then of course Amarillo, I'm probably bouncing and heading back towards the Midwest Drag Race Series. But 666 again, going to be one of the coolest events of the year. And anytime you can get on Route 66 with your cool hot rod, I mean that makes a lot of sense, right?
100%. This is going to be an event that I wish I could do the entire thing because,
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to spend 7 days driving Route 66? Honestly, like that's going
I'm
to be
telling.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to watch that go down and to be in the middle of it. And then let's talk about the circuit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm releasing some stuff here. We're going to talk about this stuff again on Wednesday night as well in a larger segment that we're going to talk about. So the entry is going to increase from 150 to 200 cars this year. That's really exciting. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for a lot of fun. So 200 is really, I'll tell you, it makes me nervous, but I think that's the cap. That's the cap at all. We'll never go more than 200 that I could imagine, because I want people to have enough time to get on the track. Plus, I don't want to have to manage more than 300 of you animals at a restaurant or something like that. So we're increasing from 150 to 200. The returning racers, this is important for all the racers that competed last year. If you showed up, this is for you. Returning racers and their listed co-pilots. Okay, so if your co-pilot was on your sheet last year, they also get early and discounted entry. Okay, I think we're the only event to do that. So it, one, preserves our community like the Rocky Mountain event does. So letting those folks come back in. But we had a lot of racers from 23 to 24, or a lot of co-pilots from 23 to 24 that wanted to race. And so we're offering that to them, right? So returning racers and their listed co-pilots from the 2024 event will receive a discounted price of 250. That is up from 25 last year, but we're going to Tulsa and Mocan, and that just costs more money. Um, Registration will have a 24-hour window on Thursday, October 31st. So returning racers and their listed co-pilots will have an opportunity to sign up on October 31st. For registered racers that didn't make it last year, you're going to be offered early registration at 8 a.m. on November 1st. You'll get a special coded ticket for that. So racers that registered for 2024 but maybe didn't make it, we had several of those, not a bunch, but several of those. I wanted to offer them early registration. And then that's going to run from like 8 a.m. to 1. And then for the early list racers, which we have a lot of those from our early listers, not early list racers, early listers, we have, and basically all those emails from last year. And then if you want to do that, find the circuitdnd.com, the circuitdnd.com, and get to the contact us page and send your name and email in. We'll add you to that list as well. So you'll have early registration opportunities. That will start at 3 p.m. Eastern on November 1st. So if you want to have a chance to get in early, you need to find us, thecircuitdnd.com. Go in there, submit your name, submit your email, and send it over to us. Again, that's November 1st, 3 p.m. Eastern, and however it backs up from there for all the time zones. And then at 8 a.m. on November 2nd, we'll open it to all the other, to the public, basically. I feel like we'll probably have 8 spots that will open up to the public. So if you are intending to attend the Circuit 2025, just go ahead and submit your name and email on the circuitdnd.com. Let's get that started, because we have some newsletter type stuff, some updates that'll start coming out in a at least monthly, if not more often, email that'll break for everybody. So get on that list. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is
Oh
going to
yeah.
be a lot of fun. It's going to be wild, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And lastly, last night I worked with a new class sponsor that we are most likely going to roll out. He said roll it out. And so if he said roll it out and he's putting the money up, we're rolling it out. But we're not going to talk about that yet until Wednesday night, because we don't have the rules set in stone yet. There's some really fun stuff that's going to come from that class, and we'll see what's going on there. So I'm excited about the Circuit 2025. Again, April 3rd through 6th, Tulsa Raceway Park to Mocan Dragway, back to Tulsa. Going to be a crazy weekend.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss out on this one. This is one of the funnest events that I had done all year,
Yeah.
obviously. And I mean, go-karts and parties and pizza and everybody hanging out. It's going to be a ton of fun. Plus, visiting a new track this year, going to Tulsa.
Yeah. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait for you to experience that track. It's awesome. Obviously, I think it's awesome because I help with a lot of their stuff. Well, guys, listen, thank you again for being our race car friends. We appreciate you guys so much for being here and being part of that. Hit the share button. We're going into the second half of the show here. Get some folks in here. And thank you so much to our sponsors: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performa Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. We can't do it without them for sure. And guys, this is where we're going to talk about the gentleman's agreement, which means we love doing this, but it's not free and it takes a ton of time. Okay. So what we're offering here is we'll keep doing that. All we're asking you is hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're at. Help us grow. That's what we need. If you're watching this and you're not following, I don't know what's wrong with you. We are drag and drive all the time. So do that. Get in where you fit in. And then I want to thank again PowerTube TV. I just made a post on the pages. Ray Iddings was out at another Southeast Gassers Association race today, and he's actually at Waffle House this morning. So I want to say shout out to Waffle House and shout out to PowerTube TV. Love them. Again, you can find exclusive content over there from us, as well as a ton of other digital content creators. PowerTube TV has been a great partner and is helping us grow the sport and our brand. So we appreciate them for everything they do. All righty. Let's talk about car chains, dude, because Corey
Yeah.
Nicholson has been putting it on big time. You wearing the hat this morning?
Yep.
Mine's in the back seat of my car covered in dog hair, so I got to get it out and get it cleaned up because the way it fits is awesome. Well, Car Chain should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea or take your part from idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy or girl gift they can't get anywhere else. Corey can produce a one-off keychain, or like what's pictured here, a hat for that special person's car. Find more at carchains3d.com or on social by searching Car Chains 3D on Facebook and Instagram, or search for Corey Nicholson, Cory. This is awesome. I love the hat idea. I think we need to have some of these done up.
Yeah.
I definitely need the Narcs cart and the old truck, and then maybe some drag driver Pete stuff done. But I thought this was really cool. This is a great gift for someone that is out there that wants. I mean, you can literally give this to someone, and they'll never ever be able to get this anywhere else other than Corey.
Correct. Yep.
So
One
super
one
cool.
off either the hat or the keychain.
Yep. You can do both. So you can see the 3D printed piece there is, obviously it's your car. Like you send them a picture of you send Corey a picture of the front of the car, and then he works his magic with the printers and makes that happen. I don't know how he's going to do that with the old truck, but we're going to find out.
And
So
in the hats, you can see the sticker there. These are Richardson 112. These are nice hats, so they're not,
yep.
some cheap hats either. They're a good quality hat.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And then also, he's pretty smart with all the other stuff. Like, he created cup holders for Eric's TCI shifter here that will be in the Mustang. That is Eric's drag and drive car. This is going to be cool, man. I can't wait to put some water in that passenger side one.
Yeah. So obviously he has cup holders for a bunch of different shifters, and I reached out to him earlier this year and said, "Do you have anything for the TCI shifter?" And he said, "No, haven't had a TCI shifter." And I said, "You're in luck because I got one sitting here," and I shipped that off to him. And I got this picture. Andy posted it on social media and said that it was done, and these were going to be headed back my way shortly. So I'm excited to get that back, put it in the car, and I'll get some pictures and maybe a video of it sitting in there once I get it back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this looks and fits, and of course, Car Change 3D for all of your needs like that. And if you don't see something that he offers, he can make it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty awesome stuff. Well, let's talk about in this segment. We're going to go over. Oh, hey, sorry, I forgot to mention 10% off for the month of August. So you've only got about 2 weeks left to get your stuff from Car Chains and get 10% off. This is a big deal. I mean, what you can see in the picture on the right, he's got all kinds of mounts and not dash plaque. What do you call that? Like,
Dash inserts.
yeah, gauge clusters. Well, there we go. For all, Fuel Tech, Holley, Aces, EFI, FI Tech, all that kind of stuff. You can put their display in your factory dash. So makes things look super cool. Like, you put a 12.3 Holley dash in the Nova of Brian and Jay, or Brian Acton. Jay's obviously the co-pilot, but put a 12.3 dash in that car and it's
It
perfect, man.
does.
It is
It
perfect.
does. It looks good.
Right. And you can get 10% off this month but for the back to school sale. So get in there, buy that stuff, support Car Change 3D. He has turned that from a hobby. It's growing into a big business, man. He's hired his first person, all that kind of fun stuff. All righty,
Yep.
let's talk about Mr. Ryan Hargett, dude.
Yeah.
We haven't had a Mustang update in a while,
Right.
but the Camaro, the anecdote is what he's calling it, is taking longer to build because it's a full build, right? So he's putting his Coyote powertrain from this car into that car. This car went 720s. In the Camaro, it's going to go low sixes or high fives. So that's the goal in that car. So obviously, completely different level of car than what this street car turned drag and drive racer is. So Ryan is putting the Mustang back together for Drag Week, which he's got a month to do that. And then in a post last month, he said he's coming for the first 6-second average in Super Street small block power adder. That's going to be pretty impressive. He currently holds that class record at an average of a 7.292 after taking down Cal Hayward's record that had stood since 2015, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So I'm excited to see this. And we know he was going up in turbos. Obviously, we talked about that at PRI when we talked to him and Christian, I think, at HPT Turbos. He went from like an 82 or 84 to 88, some new special 88 they've developed. It's got all the cool trick stuff. So it's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see all of that's coming there and all the extra power this car is going to make. Because dude, 720s already. I mean, this car, the 720 average means he's running low 720s. You know what I mean?
Right. And we haven't seen him at an event yet this year, so this will be
Mm-mm.
his first event for the year coming out to Drag Week. So
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
be good to see him at an event for sure.
yeah. I'm excited. They've they've been building a new car. They've had some family things come up. Man, it's hard. After going to 3 events in 2023 and being second in the Drag and Drive World Champion point standings. Yeah, I know it probably had to be hard to not push, but that's one of the biggest reasons he built the Camaro is to come out and take on guys like Bryant Goldstone and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So it's exciting. And then Mr. Cal Hayward, the Pinky's Drag Week, he is got the car out. It's looking really close to me. Like I even see exhaust pipes there.
Yep.
Am I crazy? And the last time we saw it, it had the radiator and fan in and the fuel, at least the fuel lines on top of the injectors. But I don't know about plumbing. So again, we're down to a month. Cal has never said that he's going to make Drag Week this year. That's not a goal of his is to get there. But y'all, that car looks pretty dang close to me. I mean,
Right.
it's got brakes on it and all this stuff. So it's a complete rebuild. Cal Hayward was actually the one that held the Super Street small block power adder record, and Ryan knocked it off. Well, Cal, in the meantime, was building this car and has gone from a small block Ford to a big block Ford. And this car's going to make 3,500 horsepower and go sixes, like deep sixes.
Yeah.
Going to be,
It's such a nice color too.
oh, dude. It's wild that it's not pink. There's a lot of people when he posts these pictures are like, I demand that this car be pink. And he's like, it's got pink on the inside where it counts. So it's, this color is great. I love those kind of bulge style hoods and the outlaw style front bumper. I mean, this car looks amazing.
Yeah, I can tell you from having a 6-inch cowl that these bubble hoods are way better because
Oh,
I can't see anything out of my hood.
yeah, yeah. We need a hood company to come in and take care of that for you.
Yeah,
At least get you a deal on one. Yeah, these
right.
hoods look great. Alrighty, and then I want to give a huge shout out to our buddies Bill and Andy at Trackside Media. Y'all, look,
Yes.
they were taking photos of us. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty cool to me, and I wanted to give them a big shout out because this is really cool. They took photos of us this week, last weekend. This one's one of my favorites of us just doing what we do, cruising down by the track. And then I don't know what I'm telling here. I don't even know where we're at, but I think it's probably me talking about how big the tire is on the car.
I think this was either over by, was this over by Tina and Dave's trailer? I feel
Maybe.
like it was somewhere in that area. It might not have been next to theirs, but it was somewhere kind of in that vicinity. But yeah, this was a good photo.
Yeah. Yeah, great. I love these are my style photos. I love the people doing stuff they're not even paying attention to when they're getting their pictures taken. And then you got another good one, of course, of you getting a picture of me sitting on a tire. I mean, I didn't include that one in here, but thought that was pretty cool and just wanted to give them a shout out. If you're not following Trackside Media, please go do that. Those dudes work really hard. They were the official photographer of the Havlicks deal. They were out there busting their butts. They put out their video this week of the event. It's like 54 minutes long. It's awesome. It's literally like passes and all the cool stuff that went on at the Havlicks you can find on Trackside Media on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, Ken saying you're famous, dudes. Hair and makeup will be required if you keep going.
Well, hey, listen, I need a little bit of makeup. I'm shiny on my cheeks here this morning. Yep, that's awesome. Well,
and
we
it,
appreciate all the
yep,
kind work for sure.
yep. And Trackside, you can purchase photos from them. I've been thinking about purchasing a couple of these photos, especially the one of me taking a picture that they got. So,
Yep.
and then we've
Yeah.
got some cool pictures of them guys as well. I know one of them has already been posted of Bill taking a photo. I'm editing some right now that I've got one of Andy on the track taking some pictures. So it's been pretty
Nice.
cool. Maybe we can work out some kind of trade package of exchanging pictures of each other.
Right. I think I made a hashtag the other day. It was automotive photographers photographing automotive photographers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I once caught a fish this big post. Dude, I don't fish, but I think it's maybe tire. Like your tire needs to be this size. I don't know. I just see
Yeah.
myself saying the tire was this big. Anyway. All right, and then big shout out to Dirty Panda for grabbing this shot of us doing what we do. Me with my phone, grabbing some real stuff, and Eric grabbing photos. So pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Again, I love the behind the scenes, the when you're not looking, you're not expecting it, all that kind of stuff. Photos. So that's pretty fun. And then lastly, I want to give a shout out to Danny Diesel, Mr. Daniel Green, big supporter of ours here at Drag Driver Pete and of me. Love that dude. He's awesome. And his next adventure is kind of like a drag and drive. Um, they're drag racing 2,700 miles across India in a rickshaw, which is two stroke and 10 horsepower and two adult males.
Yeah.
Brandon Parker, I ate at 4 Waffle House on this trip. I think I am making a 4 there. I think that is a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 Waffle Houses. That's funny. That's a good one. Yeah, Danny Diesel, rickshaw run. This is crazy. This is like a big sanctioned deal. This is a lot of people enter this from around the world, and Danny has signed up for it. He's crazy.
Yeah, this is gonna be wild. It's gonna be cool to see his coverage of this and his
Yep.
viewpoint.
Well, and he's going with a guy that I don't think he's ever met this guy in person. They've talked a bunch on the phone and through Messenger and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, dude, can you imagine? I mean, Danny doesn't know anything about two-stroke engines, let alone a rickshaw, let alone India.
Yeah.
So, and you're going with the dude that also doesn't know anything about India or rickshaws.
Yeah, and this is gonna be, I forget, what did he say? How many days was this trip gonna be? I mean, 2,700 miles is a lot.
Yeah, I want to say it's like a full 28 or 29 days. I mean, like
That's
how far can you get on a 10 horsepower two-stroke rickshaw, dude, every day?
right,
Like you get 100 miles?
right. When you thought
Because
Death Week and 666 were long at 7 to 10 days, how about a 30-day drag and drive with 10 horsepower?
that you don't know anybody. Like
Right.
there's no sanctioned route. You've just got to get from the start to the finish.
So kind of like a cannonball run too, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, so who gets their first wins? Like it's going to be pretty wild, man. This is going to be really fun, and I'm excited to see the adventures that he takes. So big shout out to Danny Diesel. Love that guy. Again, he's awesome. He's the one on the left there on your screen. Love him. He really has opened up so many doors for me on this side that it's. I mean, I can't give him enough praise for all the cool stuff that he does. So if you're not following Daniel Green on Facebook or Instagram, you need to be doing that. Danny Diesel on some of the stuff as well. So super cool. Excited for him to do that and excited to hear the process that comes from that and all the cool stuff. So,
Absolutely.
yep. Do you want to do this read or do you want me to?
I can do it.
All
So, attention high performance enthusiasts and racers, meet the Mali Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power pack performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or the 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. Tailored for various engine families from small block Chevy to Volkswagen and Audi, Mali has you covered. What sets them apart? It's forged pistons, Grafal coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Mali Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Unleash the power within. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for all of our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
I sure do love Eric. It was great to see him again. We went over his thoughts on the Havlik deal last weekend or on episode 78, right?
Yep.
I think it was 78, yeah, of the show. Eric, it was such a great opportunity to see Eric. I love his surprise. Eric Gurlio from Molly, not Eric White.
Yeah. Yeah. We were just
Oh,
kind of walking through. I don't remember where we are coming from. Maybe the Saturn rocket back somewhere. But yeah, he just happened to pop out from right in our path, and it was cool to stop and chat with him for a few minutes.
Yeah, it was great, man. Love that guy. Um, Performer Built Transmissions is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer Built Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. We don't just rebuild transmissions, we systematically re engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why Performer Built says they aren't just built, they are Performer Built. Alrighty. Let's talk about some of this fun stuff. Travis Clark, did I miss Drag Week? If so, I've been way too busy. Nope, you did not miss Drag Week. We didn't really go into detail on Drag Week stuff this time, just because I want to do a full episode on it in an upcoming, or a full segment on it in an upcoming show to talk about all the kind of stuff. And then Ken Films Carster says that event looked epic. Yeah, so many legendary cars out. That's for sure. The Havlik still was amazing.
Yep. So you got a picture in here for this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian Anders on the Drag Week 2024 made a post saying, "What octane booster are you running on your high compression motor of anything over 13 to 1?" So he made the switch from E85 back to pump gas, saying he was tired of chasing it. So Paul Powell commented saying, "Just to run 93 pump and don't beat on it." Has he met Brian before?
Dude, I don't think so, because I don't know if people remember the video that came out of him doing a burnout through the drive-through convenience store. Like they destroyed that place. It was awesome.
Yeah. And then Jeff, oh, you want to help me with that last name?
Dugopolsky.
Okay. All right, there we go. Said if it's cool outside, he'd run 87. And then Paul Powell later said that I have some as high at 14 to 1 on that street we drive on 93. There is no real octane needed in a vacuum situation. Yes, it would detonate on 93 at wide open throttle and hot, but we are talking about driving on the street from track to track.
Yeah, apparently he doesn't know Brian very well.
And Brian Robbins said that no real loud on the street, so you can get away with pump gas. What else here? We got Jason Tapscott said he runs Torco.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what that was until this here. So apparently that's another octane booster. Jody
Offered at
Ames.
summitracing.com. Just saying.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna buy it from Summit. Jody Ames runs Boostane. I think I have heard of that one before.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Niemczek said that he runs 13 and a half to 1 and runs straight pump on 3 drag weeks. And then, what is that? Adam Nick Langen said
so.
that they have dyno tested them all. Race gas works. Octanium is fine, but I prefer Boostane. So this one again. And then Nick Schaff uses Torco and race gas. So lots of interesting opinions or suggestions
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah, and the race gas seems to have a lot of different formulas. I don't know what these do differently and all that kind of stuff, but race gas had a bunch of different stuff. So I don't
Mm.
know if that's any different, but like on Summit Racing anyways. But Torco only had the one right here, $25. And then Boostane, there's several options on Boostane as well. And then of course race gas on all this stuff. So again, I think if you're going to be nice to stuff, the reason this is a big deal is because Brian, for a long time, ran like the E85 stations post on the drag week stuff. So everybody kind of looked to him to find out where E85 was. So him going back to pump is kind of a big deal. I mean, but everybody's talking about 93. Dude, you can't buy 93 where I live.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if maybe like there should, like, you can only buy 91 where I'm at, from here to Tulsa at least. I mean, there's maybe some places that have 93, but not any of the stations I stop at. So, is it harder? Like, are you making it harder from E85 to 93? Like, can you just do a 91 tune? I don't know what that means, but
Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately,
Ryan,
I'm not smart enough for to give opinions on this section.
me either. I don't know. So maybe we'll have somebody on at some point that can answer some of that stuff. But thought this was pretty cool. Yeah, Rodney Harder says he runs race gas. And then there were some other people in there in that post saying they run race gas, but I think they were talking about like race gas
110.
from the track or whatever. So pretty cool conversation. I'd like to learn a little more. I wonder if the guys at Driven Racing Oil could talk us through some of that stuff. I'll message Bill after this and see if he could give some insight on that. And if not, hey, we're looking for a fuel expert.
Yeah. I mean, I'd definitely like to learn more about some of this, octane booster stuff just for my own personal knowledge because
Yeah.
I don't know what's good, what's bad, what's the benefits, what's not
Yeah.
good about it. So,
Right. And I mean, everybody knows, octane, the more octane, the better burn, all that kind of stuff, more power, blah, 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 all that. But like, we're literally talking about between tracks. So,
Ken here saying I'd love to know the difference between the states and here as we have 95 and 98 at pumps, but it's a different scale, I think, than we use.
yeah. So we had this conversation with Dave and Nadine. I remembered it. Dave, you'll be excited about that. Um, I, and their 98 is worse than our 87. So,
Mm,
again, just like he's talking about the scale of ratings and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we have 98 here, and we're like, what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you have 98. And they're like, well, no, actually, it's worse than your 87. So
okay.
who knows? I just want to know about 91 and 93. And my stock compression turbo LS wore out 4.8 in the old truck. It doesn't care. I could probably run 80 in it and it would be fine. It wouldn't give two craps. Well, let's talk about one of the coolest offerings right now that you can buy.
Yeah.
Mr. Clint Sadowski has his entire powertrain for sale. One unit comes complete, motor, trans, fuel lines, and tank. Are you looking at that? It's got the fuel tank and everything. I mean, dude, drop this into something and go really, really fast. 50 G's buys it all. I feel like that's a deal. Listen, the parts list wouldn't even fit on the picture I have here. Like I tried to, but the letters would be so small. It's so long. Look up Clint Sadowski, Sodowsky, on Facebook to see this post. His car in a first gen Camaro at full drag and drive trim and weight has been 740 at 192 miles an hour.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine putting this in something that is 1,000 pounds lighter,
Yeah.
like an
So
old
if
Pro Stock car?
so if you have a first gen Camaro sitting around, you know that this will work.
Yeah, it'll fit. It's ran a bunch of drag and drives. I mean, look, Power Glide. This is literally drop in and run, drop in and go, no problem. Probably even includes the tunes and all that kind of stuff for it.
And
So
I'm sure if you go and buy it and ask nicely, you can get an autograph from an MLB player too.
yeah, yeah, professional MLB pitcher, like pitch to all of the big names. Super cool dude too.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a great deal. This is a great
Yeah.
deal. Uh,
So Ken's asking
but
what's going in his car now.
So in one of the posts, I think in his for sale post on Rocky Mountain Race Weekers, he said that he's upgrading the car and wants to go faster.
So he didn't specifically say what he's putting in.
Uh-uh. No, I would imagine though he's probably at the limits of what an LS will do. I would think, or maybe he's going bigger cubic inch LS. I don't know. Maybe he's going big block and twins. I mean, just yeah, wild.
Shoo.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. So again, we don't do a whole lot of for sale stuff on here, but I felt like this was one of the greatest deals that I've seen just simply because of the car that it's come from, the meticulous nature of Clint, and I mean, dude, literally been low sevens at 192 miles an hour and is ready to go in anything. It looks like you need a drive shaft.
Right.
Like pretty wild. So do what Nick Taylor and several other folks have done. Buy an old Pro Stock car and throw this in it and go sixes, man, easily.
Mm, so tempting.
Oh yeah. Hey, let me borrow 75,000 and I'll do this. They're like, wait, it's only 50. I know I gotta put all the extra stuff together and then take a trip. So again, shout out to 3G Video for capturing this awesome video at one of the sick weeks. So this is awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk about race week because we did that earlier. I'll let you take over on that.
Yep. So Rocky Mountain Race Week again has or is going to release the routes ahead of time, just like they did with 1.0. So this is going to be pretty cool. You'll know what the route stops are. You know where your routes are. I think this is going to be cool for people like what was it, Allen with the electric Mach E,
Mhm.
because they can plan out their charging stations. E85 people, again, if you know the route, you can kind of plan out your fuel stops on what places have E85. So I do like this idea of putting these out ahead of time.
Yeah, and again, like we said earlier, this was a big no-no beforehand. They used to not give all that stuff, but I think we're seeing a change. The community is going to help police that nobody's cheating. And why would you want to cheat on these? You know what I mean? Like you're going to take your car, unload it from a trailer, and get your route stop pictures early. That's boring. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah,
So I think this is
right.
going to be really fun, and it allows local communities to know what's coming because someone in that community will be like, "Oh my gosh, Race Week is coming through here," and then they'll tell their friends, and then everybody stand outside with a sign that says "Do a burnout," and obviously we're going to oblige.
Yep. Very, very cool.
Hmm.
So this is what I woke up to this morning. Super, super cool. Motion Raceworks out there showing some love to all of the stuff that I've been posting lately. I'm talking pictures from the Havlicks event, these live streams. So just wanted to say a big thank you to Motion Raceworks for showing me personally some love on all the social media stuff. I thought this was super cool to wake up to when I saw this. First thing I did was took a screenshot and sent it over to Mike and was like, check
Yeah,
this out.
yeah. Does everybody see that picture on the right? Your battery's at 100%. What are
Yeah,
you doing with your life, man?
I
That's
literally just
great.
woke up. This was the
Oh,
first thing I saw this morning.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty cool. And I can't. We need to go over the analytics on Wednesday night show and
yeah.
talk about your Eric White, the profile page you have, obviously for that, your public, professional. What do they call that? Professional
Yep.
file, whatever.
Professional
Um,
page.
yep. So if you're not following Eric White, you need to go do that right now because the cool thing about what Eric does is obviously he's a huge part of the Drag Drive Repeat, but there's a lot of other events that aren't drag and drive related that he goes to and takes pictures and does all kinds of cool stuff with videos and all that. So really
Plus my
awesome.
own plus my own build. I've got,
Yeah.
two giant orders of Motion Racework parts sitting in the garage waiting for me to get some time to
Yep.
go out there and put those on too. So
Yeah. A lot of fun stuff. Building a full on drag and drive car has converted his Fox Body Mustang from drag only to now it will be a drag and drive car when it comes out. The goal is maybe the circuit 2025. Huh?
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It needs a lot of work and I need a lot more free time to
Yeah.
get everything done.
And the hard part is for people that have been a promoter and racer, it's too hard. And
It's
so,
hard.
yeah, Eric's RHM role at the circuit is to take care of everything social media, which also not just means making posts, but also you know being in charge of photographers that are there and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of work that goes in on that side. So again, thank you to everybody that has commented, has made posts, has shared everything that we've been putting out or that he's been putting out. It's been really really cool.
Yep. Pretty awesome.
And just a reminder, you can grab one of these hoodies right here uh, at summitracing.com and t-shirts, which is what we're wearing this morning. Grab
Yep.
it, all that stuff on there. Please help us. Please help support Summit's support of us. All right. Sorry, man. I've
And
talked too much. Let's get to Found on Racing Junk.
and back up to the picture real quick. Shout out to the nasty 88 Fox body. I got a message from them last night that after meeting us and hanging out with us a little bit at the Havlicks event, they went and purchased a hoodie from Summit. So I thought that was super cool for them to share that with me. So shout out to those guys as well.
Yep, that's awesome. All right.
All
Yep.
right.
Found
Found
on
on
Rachel.
Racing Junk. We talked a little bit earlier that we were going to be short on time. And we needed to fill time, and here we are at 10 o'clock hitting our last segment here. So again, guys, Found on Racing Junk is our official buy sell trade of Drag Drive Repeat. There are, what was it, 33 cars when we checked last on the Drag and Drive section. So if you guys don't know, we reached out to Racing Junk and asked for a drag and drive category underneath the drag racing section. So those guys did that for us, and now we've got like 33 cars in there. So let me go ahead and pull up the one that I'm going to share today. So this one, as soon as I saw it, it went right along with the picture we shared from the circuit earlier. So here we have a 1956 Chevy wagon gasser blower, 25,000, gasser with blower.
Yeah, I felt like this was a deal.
Yeah. This thing, I mean, who wouldn't want to drive around in
Oh,
this?
I'm telling you, Hollywood, Florida. This car looks super cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Yep. Big old blower in it there.
Mm.
I mean, look at that. It just looks right.
Yeah.
Like that looks like where
Somebody let
this
me
car
borrow
is meant to
40,000.
be. This car looks like it was meant to be right here on a brick road, probably right next to the beach. You throw a surfboard or something on top of that, just perfect.
Mm. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, super, super cool.
Can you imagine this next to the 57? Like, how cool would that be?
Yep.
Somebody buy this and bring it to the circuit 2025.
So again, like
If
Mike
somebody
mentioned,
buys
Hollywood.
this and brings it to the circuit 2025, I'll give you free entry.
Ooh, there we go. Who's in Florida that wants to come to the circuit 2025? Here you go.
Yeah,
So
this thing is
Hollywood,
cool.
Florida, 56 210 wagon gasser. It's a 355 cubic inch, 671 blower. It's running about 8 pounds. Mr. Gasket hood scoop, twin Carter carbs, fender well, hooker headers. You can continue to see all of this stuff down here. They said I had this awesome gasser for 4 years and it's been a blast to drive, and it breaks necks at the car shows. It's dialed at a 1-to-1, so it has around 8 pounds of boost and set up for the street. I've done 200-mile round trips in it, 65 to 70 at 28 to 3,000 RPM. I do have the top pulley for it to push it up to around 11 or 12 pounds. Change that and throw in some 456 or 510 gears out the back, and watch out. As it sits, this thing will stick you in your seat. I can help load it, but shipping is on you. I've seen many gassers, but rarely with a blower. And this had me cracking up when I read it. This isn't the prom queen, but definitely her red-headed stepsister. Throw a coat of paint, and you have an entirely different car.
Nah, I'd just go grab some of that sweet patina sauce and throw it on that thing and make that shine just a little bit more. And dude,
Yeah.
money. Yep.
Yep.
Again, I'll give free entry to anybody that buys this car. This is cool, man.
Yep. When I saw this, I knew this was the one I was going to feature this week. So
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, guys, I'll tell you the next episode is going to be one to watch, episode 79 on the Drag Drive Repeat show, Wednesday nights live, or watch it later, listen to the podcast, whatever. We have Dane Thompson on, and we're going to talk about all things Drag and Drive. He's the Bomb Squad Facebook page. He has created it. It's kind of morphing into this Drag and Drive page. Lots of conversations going on over there. That's going to be really fun. And he's been on a bunch of these. He is a guy that is really taken the dive into Drag and Drive and is having a blast with it. So Dane Thompson will be our main guest. He'll be on episode 79, and then we'll release obviously the episode artwork on Monday, and we'll have our other guest on, and then we'll talk about some of the other stuff too. The Wednesday night show is fun to me. It really gives us 2 hours to have a conversation with everybody that comes along there. All right, sir. Is that it? You got some more stuff to talk about, and then let's roll this thing. I got to put AC in here.
Nope, I think that's all I got.
Cool.
We got here. I'm not sure what this one here is. Pictures from the event.
Oh, I think this was the last news episode we did. I didn't pull this photo out. But again, if you
Gotcha.
haven't seen it, go watch Trackside Media's coverage of the fastest streetcar shootout at the Havlicks. It's like an hour long. It's amazing. Just turn it on your TV, sit down, grab a cold drink, and watch it. It's awesome.
Plus, they did make a post that they still have these event T-shirts for sale. So I guess this is a good lead into that.
Yeah.
If you want to get this T-shirt that's shown on the right, with the two Tri-5s there, this is going to be the T-shirt from this year's tribute race. So the first annual tribute race, you don't want to miss out. So if you want to pick up that T-shirt, you can go over to the Havlicks website and pick that up before they sell out.
Yep. Hot Rods by Havlik. All right. Want to lead us out?
Yep. So thanks everybody that's been in the chat. Obviously, it's been a fun Saturday morning. These Saturday morning shows are great. They remind me of waking up on the weekends and watching car stuff. So we're not on your TV, but we're on your YouTube. So be sure to check us out on Saturday mornings. This is a fun hour-long show. We talk about event updates. We do all kinds of stuff on here. So thanks everybody that's been in here making comments, watching the show this morning. You guys are our race car friends. And of course, thanks to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmissions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina Racing Junk, and Power Tube TV.
Yep. I guess we'll see you on Wednesday night, episode 79 of the Drag Driver Pete Show. Bye.
See ya.
Sweet.